What's good, everyone? This is Dev the Coolest.
And this is JB.
And welcome to Slick Talk with a hashtag.
Hashtag Slick Talk.
It lit.
That was kind of unison.
With a hashtag.
Yes.
What's good, y'all? Welcome back. Oh, excuse me. Hope you had a great week. Mercury's in retrograde.
Is that why
it's really difficult for me to communicate.
Oh, is it? I don't want to think about that.
I'm blaming Mercury. See, I can't even say the word.
But I don't want to think about it because then I'm going to start finding things and be like, oh, I just slipped.
I'm blaming
Mercury,
everything. Remember when retrograde mommy came on and said, when it's
yeah.
Mercury retrograde, communication's off, you don't know how to talk.
Well, she said that it's different for certain Mercury retrogrades, didn't she?
I don't think so. We need to have her back on.
I think, we do need to have her back on because she was like, oh, well, this Mercury retrograde means that it will have something to do with your car or vehicle, transportation.
Well, I think she said every Mercury retrograde. It's like that. Like, you'll have trouble with your cars. Like, there's always something that will prevent you from getting somewhere on time.
Okay. We'll have to have her back on.
We'll have to have her. She's the expert.
Yeah, she was dope, too.
She's the expert, so we'll have to have her back on. Yeah. But thank y'all for tuning back in. Okay, let's talk about some, start off. Before we get into black businesses, let's talk about some unpopular opinions that each of us hold.
Absolutely.
Okay. I believe it's okay to drink before 10 a.m.
Okay. That's an unpopular opinion.
Yeah, because people say you're not supposed to drink. The popular opinion is you can't drink until noon, till afternoon.
Oh, child.
Unless it's a brunch mimosa.
I don't got the popular. I agree. You can drink whenever time.
Right. It's 6 o'clock somewhere. What do they say?
Period. That
sounds like some alcoholic shit. But
okay.
But I whatever. Another one I have is that watermelon is disgusting.
What?
Watermelon is disgusting.
Watermelon is not disgusting.
It is. The texture.
Watermelon is like bomb.
It's the texture.
And watermelon juice. But I just want the seedless. Are you black?
No.
Black card revoked. The fuck? The hell?
But I hate watermelon is disgusting. And actually, I remember the first time I had it, my auntie tried to force me.
That's why you think it's disgusting, because she was trying to force you to eat it.
Well, no. When I ate it,
like
I told her I didn't like it. And she said, no, you're going to eat it.
Exactly. That's what it is.
And I sat there for hours. I literally sat there for hours just looking at that. But it's not because I don't think
it's because of trauma.
No, it's not. It's the first bite. And I didn't like it. And then the trauma came after when she forced me to sit there, and it stinks. I can't even smell it.
It doesn't stink.
Ugh, I hate watermelon.
But what I will
so
say is that, unpopular opinion, I don't like hot sauce.
You don't?
No, I don't eat hot sauce. I don't eat hot sauce.
You think so? The hot sauce is disgusting to you, or
I just don't eat it. It's just too. I don't like it. I don't like it.
I
feel like a kid. I don't even like it. Like, I don't put hot sauce on anything.
I'm part of that popular opinion. I'm the opposite. I love hot sauce.
And another unpopular opinion, I still love Kanye. Completely.
Okay.
I still love him.
I still think he's an artistic genius.
Yeah.
I love him as an artist.
I love him in general.
Okay.
Period. Who else is? What else is a unpopular opinion?
An unpopular opinion that I hold.
I don't think. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I don't think Michael Jordan is the greatest NBA player of all time.
Oh, okay.
And I think it's kind of random, but
no, I get it.
And then people are like, who do you think is LeBron James?
LeBron James, and of course.
Yeah.
But I think if we're looking at like time periods of that time, he was the greatest. Like, just like after him, it was Kobe. Kobe was the good one, and after
rest
MJ
in peace,
left.
Kobe.
Yes, rest in peace, Kobe. And now we have LeBron, so it's like in those ways.
But I don't think. Yeah.
But do you think LeBron, if they played, Michael Jordan was at his prime now, and LeBron James played against each other, who do you think?
LeBron.
Okay.
LeBron just has more power and more force than I think Michael.
LeBron is a man.
Yeah, LeBron is a man, a beautiful black man. But I just think he just has like way more force and way more dominance. He just dominates the whole court.
Yeah.
Like everything.
He's very
and granted,
huge.
I feel like what Michael and Kobe had in common and they were so great at is, and I'm speaking like I just watch basketball all the time, but I mean, I know about it, I watch it, but they have a finesse about them, you know, that is just unmatched.
Like a swag, yeah.
Like just a easy, effortless finesse that they have when they're playing the game or when they played the game.
Right.
But yeah, so that's one of my unpopular opinions, but That was a little cute.
I like that. I may think of more and randomly like throw them out throughout the episode.
No, absolutely. That was a great little icebreaker. But
what's going on?
But yeah, so today,
yes, we want to highlight and talk about Black businesses. Combat some of the stereotypes.
Yeah.
Maybe
give some shout outs.
Yes, because we know a lot of great Black-owned businesses. And also talk about some of our experiences in Black business and some of the stereotypes that are kind of true.
Absolutely. Yeah. So
that we can tighten up on.
Yes. And the crazy thing about it is, like, what people need to understand is that the same practices that you're noticing take effect in Black-owned businesses is happening in all businesses. It's just the fact that there's not a lot of Black-owned businesses.
And we're holding the Black people to a higher standard for whatever reason that may be.
Exactly. So, I mean, the same thing that you're going to be like, oh my God, they were so rude, or they took forever, or this is too expensive. You can find that same thing at a white-owned business.
Right. Exactly. Absolutely. And I have.
So, yeah, I don't know why there's always like this,
especially for us,
emphasis. Yeah,
you know what I mean.
There's like a huge emphasis on like, oh, they went in there, they want to charge me all this amount for this.
They're expecting a discount. So that's the first thing I want to say. Yeah. Stop asking your friends that own a business for discounts.
Don't ask for a discount. If you're going to support them, just support.
And give a little more. Exactly. Give a little extra.
Exactly. And the thing about, to piggyback off of that, like, you have to understand the struggle of what struggle it is to open a business in general, and then also opening in a business as a black person. Like, it's just an uphill battle to sustain that and everything. So, support, and
that's their livelihood. A lot of them, like, if they giving you discounts, how they gonna pay their rent or their mortgage?
Absolutely. It's not And I think it's important to realize that when we're frequenting these businesses, to try to look at it as a I perspective and think about what I would do if I were to open up what I would do if I were to open up a business. Yeah. How would I want my customers to respond? Right. How would I do that?
Right.
And
a lot of people not going to go through that mental process. No. People are selfish, and they're not going to think, oh well, if it were me, blah blah blah. People are selfish as hell. So random, I want to shout out a Black business, Body Ambiance by Alexandria, my cousin's business.
Yeah,
she has an amazing like whipped butter that I use on my skin. It's amazing. It's like coconut oil, it's all organic ingredients. She makes it by hand and sends it out.
Okay.
She's based in Atlanta.
Yes.
And I believe her page the page for that is just Body Ambiance. I gotta look it up.
Yes.
But I want to do
Shout
that.
Shout out that.
Yeah.
I love, especially millennials that are taking control and like opening up these businesses and, starting off. And it's not easy. Like we were saying, it's not easy, and it also doesn't cost anything for you guys to just support, to repost, or to like or follow or tell someone about it. Like, stop being stingy with y'all information.
Right. Hello, really? We all trying to win out here.
Yeah.
But yes, her Instagram is Body Ambiance, just how it's supposed to be spelled.
Body Ambiance.
All one word.
Okay, shout out.
Yes, my cousin, Alex.
Yes. But
and I don't ask her for discounts, and y'all bet not either.
Okay, and he's the cousin. If he don't ask for a discount and he the cousin, then, I mean.
But some stereotypes is that Black-owned businesses are unprofessional. And I'm speaking, well, I guess in general, but mostly restaurants. And that it takes forever for the food to come, and you're not greeted properly. It's very like casual,
I have a question with that.
Yeah.
Have you seen a difference in customer service in Black-owned businesses from where you've traveled? Like, have you been to different Black-owned businesses in different states that you've been to outside of California?
Yes.
Okay.
Compare a Black-owned restaurant in Atlanta probably is a little different than a Black-owned restaurant here in the Bay, as far as professionalism goes, in my experience. But I feel like it's also because of demographic. Like Atlanta, it's Black.
Yeah.
Bay Area, we got some folks here, but we're not Black. I mean, we're Black, but we're not like Southern. You get what I mean?
Exactly.
So like I'll go to Atlanta and I'll get the best service or a restaurant out there, and just I hate to pinpoint Atlanta as the Black Mecca, but
I mean right now it's definitely looking like that.
Compared to some restaurants I've been here in the Bay. Where it's like, you know, I get the food can take, but it's like, where's the prep? Because I work at a restaurant, so I understand the behind the scenes and what needs to go into. So like, what's going on as far as prepping? You know, like what are we doing? Like I love that the food is fresh and you're making it right then and there, but if you have stuff prepped, it shouldn't take 45 minutes for me to get some catfish.
Right. Like, what is that? Like, what are you back there doing on Instagram? That's, yeah.
So it's like, so that's what I mean. Like, it's a stereotype, and I have seen it, and that some places do hold that stereotype. However, it's not just Black-owned businesses that are doing it.
It's really not.
And I hold other businesses to the same standard.
Yeah. And that shouldn't, and those type of behaviors shouldn't necessarily just deter us from just not going back or giving it a chance altogether. We're quick to write off each other.
Right, real quick
to move on.
Or go back and give something else a second, third. We still eating at McDonald's and knowing that it's causing cancer.
The hell? And it's nasty and causing obesity.
Disgusting.
The hell? Like, it's just so confusing. But I just want to make sure that
go ahead.
People realize that, just like we were talking about the stereotypes in Black-owned businesses versus other businesses, want people to just realize that this is across the whole board. Like, it's not just Black-owned businesses that you're thinking are being unprofessional or charging you more or whatever the case may be. Other companies just have a system down to where other companies just literally have a system down where they lessen the price. What I feel like they do is just lessen the price of some products so that their retention rate can be higher, so people can come back and everything like that.
Oh, gotcha.
So I think that's what they're mostly doing, or they're getting like these they're getting discounts when it comes to like purchasing like things at a wholesale value.
Right, exactly. So they can sell it.
Exactly. It's a way more complicated thing that I'm still learning myself, but I just know that it's an uphill battle for us to find like different.
Because first of all, Black people got to get a loan, more than likely, not all Black people, but we have to start with a loan, and then you have to be accepted.
Yeah,
you know, you have to be cleared and approved for that loan, and that's hard. You know, especially if your credit's not where it's supposed to be, or you don't have the savings from jump. So that makes it difficult. But I do want to say Black people are out here doing it, though.
Yes,
we're out here doing it. Black artists, Black restaurant owners, Black health coaches, like they're out here doing it.
It's like stepping it up.
Right.
Like to toot our own horn, we're out here trying to do it as well. You know,
right.
We're trying to
podcast,
make a podcast and merch and branding and all everything like that. Yeah. So I just think that it's dope all around. And, you know, I think, and another thing I think about is I want us to realize that the support shouldn't always go to people that we feel have already made it or like celebrities. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's easy for me to...
But they do have a following, which makes it easier for their businesses to get off the ground.
Absolutely. Quicker. But I'm thinking that they're already established. Like, that's fine. Support them all you want to, but also support your local, you know, Black-owned businesses as well. You know what I'm saying? There's some that are starting to, you know, come up, and barbershops. Like I live in Los Angeles. There's this barbershop. I have to think of the name before it ends. But literally, this barbershop was just open in November. It's a Black barbershop, Black owner. He actually is a gay as well, Black gay man.
Nice.
Opened this barbershop.
I would love to just to see what the vibe is, because we talked about this before. About like
his ideas of what he has going on right now are super innovative. Like it's like going beyond just a barbershop. He's having spoken word. He's having open mic. He's having photo shoots. Like he's
that's how you do it.
To everything.
That's like everything Black touches just is it's just beautiful.
Yeah, but we need to like just be on the same accord, and we need to be on the same accord when it comes to that. So you know that's why I'm happy that we're doing this episode, because I want everyone to understand that, you know, if we really come together, like our buying power, I think I heard is like $3.1 trillion buying power.
Coin.
Like it literally. We have coin. Like if we support each other and put our money back into our communities and back into, you know, people like us, then like that's how we grow and that's how we sustain wealth.
Absolutely. And so I don't know if we told you guys at the beginning, but we're just going to randomly plug Black owned businesses throughout the episode. So make sure you're jotting them down. Yeah. Another one is Brown Estate. Have you heard of them? They're a Black owned winery in Napa.
Mm-hmm.
Brown Estate. They have you have to be a member to actually go to the estate, but they do have like a tasting room in downtown Napa now that you have to book.
You went there for your birthday, right?
That was one of the places I went for my birthday. Yeah, last year. It's beautiful. It's nice. It feels great to like support Black owned, like it's just,
especially the only one in Napa.
The only one,
the only Black owned winery in Napa.
Only one. So y'all, if y'all like wine like I do, y'all should sign up, subscribe to them.
Like please go.
Wine. Brown Estate.
That's so dope. I mean, I'm thinking about. My mind when it comes to that, I'm like thinking about things that I could do to be innovative and open up new businesses. Like
it's inspiring.
It is really inspiring. I want to open up. I wanted to open and still kind of low key do. And don't be stealing this idea either because I'm saying it on air
right now.
I'm saying it on air.
Oh damn.
But I'm all aggressive and everything. And the thing about it is we're not angry and we're not aggressive. We're passionate. So let me take that back. Let me walk that back. I'm not angry and I'm not aggressive. I'm passionate.
Yes.
Okay?
Boom.
So what I'm passionate about is the fact that I eventually want to open up a bed and breakfast.
Okay.
In Napa, a Black-owned bed and breakfast in
with
Napa.
Some soul food.
With soul food.
Some grits.
Listen. And it will be very modernized.
Chicken.
Like, it'll literally be, I want it to be geared towards millennials, right? I wanted to play like...
Well, we're the next market coming up.
Yeah, right?
We're in our 30s now.
I wanted to play like music that we grew up listening to in the 90s and the early 2000s.
Ooh, that'll be cute. Y'all don't steal his idea. Y'all better
But y'all don't come up in my bed and breakfast and be causing drama now.
Oh, yeah.
So that's another stereotype is that we cause drama, we fight. Like people try to open up clubs and everything and nightclubs and be party promoters and
people don't know how to act.
Thing. But that's another stereotype that we can't have anything.
That's a stereotype, but I also want to make it a point to say that that's not exclusive to just Black people. It happens in the Latin community with the Latin gatherings, or even with the white community.
Right.
If you have a bunch of the same people together, it's going to happen. It's just because Black people are so everything.
Exactly.
That you see us the most.
and of course, it makes sense why the media wants to highlight. It makes sense why the media wants to highlight when we have an issue at one of our establishments.
Yeah.
So it can kind of tear down and kind of degrade what we have going on and everything.
Right.
But the same thing, just like you said, the same thing is happening all around in different other groups and everything like that. So our main point right now, my main point is that I just want everyone to know that, don't take away from what we got going on or what we're trying to build when it's happening to the same thing. My main different people. Same thing is happening to different people in different groups. My main goal, and I'll get off of my soapbox, but my main goal is to
not
see.
Your soapbox.
My main goal is to see one day in the future in Black communities that haven't been gentrified yet to have us own. To have us own beauty supply stores, and we support those beauty supply stores. To have us own
not being followed.
Louisiana chickens.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying. That we actually own. I want to go to a.
We need another Tulsa, Oklahoma situation.
Right. Exactly. I want to go to a complex where I just see nothing but Black-owned businesses, and I wanted to see it flourish and everything like that. There's absolutely no reason why other ethnicities should be coming into our neighborhoods and selling and providing services
that we can
be doing ourselves. They're giving us things that we should be able to come in and create ourselves for us to provide to our people. I'm not against it. I'm not trying to be discriminatory.
Well, yeah, everybody needs to get their coin.
Yeah, everybody needs to get their coin.
But I guess what do you say we need to do? Because I hear it all the time. Like, if we go into a Black situation or like a Black-owned business, there's always going to be the group of Black people that's going to say they just walk into it just with the mindset that this is going to be ghetto.
Yeah,
I want this is too expensive. Like, what do you say? What do you say to people that are like that?
I mean, if they have their mind set up, I think the only thing that can change their mind is action. So if they come into a situation and they believe that it's ghetto, I mean, we have to change their mind about it being ghetto. Come into the
is it because of that establishment would make it so that they know that it's not ghetto, or like, what do you mean? I hate to use the word ghetto, but
no. I totally get that though. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's just like all you could do is what's best for you and what works for you. I mean, we obviously there's going to be people that are upset about everything. You know, if there's going to be people that come into an establishment and be like, "Oh, it's too ghetto," and then there's going to be people that come into an establishment and be like, "Oh, it's too bougie." You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like you can't win
with those type of people.
But at the end of the day, if you find your niche and you find something that works with you, stick to it. Don't just because you're receiving criticism, just because somebody's saying, "Oh, your prices are too expensive," or you guys are too pushing. Just keep it pushing. But at the end of the day, still have that morality that you're doing the right thing and keep everybody in check so that you don't get no bad feedback. I mean, feedback about things being too expensive. Yeah, you don't want that. But at the end of the day, it's just like it's gonna come with the territory.
People with the coin gonna come.
Exactly.
You don't got to worry about somebody saying, "Go get your money up."
Exactly. But my thing is just a professionalism. Just make sure that there's a professionalism.
Yes. That is important. That is very important. Professionalism. I don't care. White, black, brown, yellow.
Yeah.
Professionalism.
Absolutely.
And you're going to treat me like a human being. Like I'm going to treat you like a human being.
Yes.
And on the other side, we need to treat these people that are working
exactly
really like they're human beings too.
Absolutely.
Like they're providing a service, they're providing experience.
Yeah.
But they're not your slaves.
Not at all.
So don't be walking into these black businesses talking crazy to people either.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because we can show you real black business.
Listen, that part. No, but overall, I'm happy with the progress that we're making.
Do you have any that you want to shout out before we wrap it up?
So you know what? I was just thinking about that right now. What I was going to say is that I'll probably end up putting the black-owned businesses that I'm familiar with in our bio on Instagram.
Oh, got it.
That would be probably better. And tag them and everything like that because there's so many that I want to see flourish and that I know are doing well. And I also, me personally, I want to shout out like up and coming black and owned businesses, not black owned businesses that are established and that are already doing well. That's fine. They already get traction important. And everything. They're all
but
important.
You want to bring
at the end of the day, I want to uplift those that.
Oh, what's Ray Bay's page?
Yeah, there's Ray Bay's page.
What
there's
is it?
Welcome
Do you remember?
to the Table. Ray Bay Draws
Ray
or
Bay
something?
Draws, yeah. I want to make sure I get it.
Yeah, shout out to Ray Bay Draws and his, platform with drawing.
Yes,
and
it's
art.
Ray Bay Draws. Y'all know how to spell Ray Bay, RAYBAE, and then draws, RAYBAE, draws.
Exactly.
Follow him and get it and pay. Don't ask him for no discounts.
Okay, exactly.
And be ready to see these pictures, child.
Absolutely.
Because these are some photos.
So to wrap it up a little bit, what's some advice, and I'll do the same thing, what's some advice that you would, I mean, not that we need to give advice, but just since we have this platform, what's some advice that you would give to some businesses, some black-owned businesses to keep it, keep going and, to, I guess, flourish?
Stay consistent. Stay consistent. Learn from your mistakes, obviously. That's just a life lesson. But stay consistent because too much of changing becomes confusing to the consumer. Like, it's like, so what are you trying to sell? Because there's just so much going on. So stay consistent. And I also believe you can stay consistent and grow. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, you can stay consistent and grow.
Stay consistent and grow.
Yeah, and persistent. Stay consistent and persistent.
And what about the consumer, or the black consumer, or just any consumer in general that's consuming by a black-owned business? What would you tell them?
Like I've said it a million times, don't ask for discounts. And hold the same expectation across the board. Like, don't expect, because it's a black-owned business, this grand... you should get grand service, but don't expect something that like if you were to walk into a bougie, I don't want to say white restaurant, but like I don't know, what's like a really, like a Soho House or something. It's don't expect more from a chicken and waffles down the street than you would at a Soho House.
Exactly.
Like, give everybody the same expectations. It's all good. We're all supporting each other.
Exactly.
So that's what I would say to the consumer.
For me, I would say to the black-owned businesses, I would just say stay professional.
Yes,
that's the one thing. Just make sure to stay professional, because knowing that.
Go ahead, finish your point, but I want to ask a question before we go.
Yeah, knowing that you have people that are coming into your establishment with a higher expectation than any other place. just make sure, and it's unfortunate, but just make sure that you stay on. Don't get laxed. I feel like there's one thing. I feel like there's one thing that we do as Black people is we see another Black person, we automatically assume that they're not going to trip off of things that other ethnicities would. Mm-hmm. No, if I come into a cash register and you have your cell phone out, sis, like, please put it away. Just please put it away.
Because your cell phone is dirty.
It's like, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I'm not tripping. I'm not going to tell your manager or anything.
Right,
I'm not that type. But it's just like,
certain level of
come on, there's a
professionalism
level.
that
You
just
up here
needs to be
texting
there.
and stuff while you're trying to ring up my groceries.
Because I was going to ask, I dare somebody to do that. What constitutes professionalism, though? Like, what is the definition of professionalism, I guess? Because the reason why I asked that, it probably doesn't even need an answer. Mm-hmm. The reason why I asked that is because in a Black restaurant, to a Black person, mm-hmm. you walk in and it's feeling very homey, very family. You know, we loud, we're very expressive. Mm-hmm. You know, and to us, they can be professional. Yeah. But you get someone that's not from our culture walk in, they're like, oh, this is crazy.
No, absolutely.
So what? I guess it doesn't need an answer, but we should probably check in like with what professionalism means.
Well, you know what? I think some things go without saying,
mm-hmm.
right?
Like the phone thing.
Like the phone thing. Yeah. It's like that. I mean, there's certain like. Phone thing, the phone issue, having phones out, eating. If you're in a restaurant, eating obviously is unprofessional. That's supposed to be eating behind it. Mm-hmm. Like it don't matter how homey and how cool it looks. Right. Like don't be eating.
Right.
You know, just certain things. I don't want
your food mixed in with mine.
Yeah, just certain things that I would just say think about. If you were to go into a restaurant, or what you would feel comfortable with seeing, no matter what establishment it is. I don't think you would want somebody on their phone when you're trying to get your groceries. Right. I don't think you want somebody eating food and licking their fingers when they're preparing your meal. Right. You know, I don't think you want somebody disregarding what you're saying and talking to an employee.
Right. Exactly.
There's just certain kind of things.
There is definitely a base level.
Yeah,
of
just I guess you could say respect.
Exactly.
That's.
Respect and cleanliness.
Cleanliness, yeah, just respect. Just show respect. It's all good to, turn up and have a good time and everything like that. But at the end of the day, I'm spending my money in here.
Exactly.
I'm spending my money here.
Right.
So I want to make sure. Exactly. I want to make sure that I'm getting the whole thing. And I personally have that across the board. Mm. And then what I would say to the consumer and the customer, whatever, is that just be open-minded mm-hmm. and be open-minded and a little bit more forgiving.
Okay.
So
I
understand,
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah,
like
just
that.
Be open-minded and a little bit more forgiving. I understand, like I said, I'm not trying to take back my word. I do believe people should be, professional and respectful and everything like that. But shit happens, and I understand that, we're still getting to a point where we understand what it means to kind of like have boundaries when it comes to like working and like customer, because everything is really loose, and in the Black community, like we're really loose.
Oh, got you. We're very welcoming, very opening. We welcome everybody into our culture like it's water,
which could be an issue,
right? But we should talk about that.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good topic. But yeah, so that's what I would just say. Just be a little bit more, at the end of the day, still hold them accountable and make sure they're respectful and professional, but still be a little bit more forgiving and, be a little bit more open-minded. And
don't be mad if they forgot to bring you your water.
And I would also
they got
say
other stuff going on too.
And to end it,
yes, and to end it. No, I'm done.
Is that we said all this, but at the end of the day, you're not obligated to do anything that you want to do.
Just don't be a shitty human.
Just don't be a shitty human. And, as much as we believe that it's important to frequent Black businesses and support Black businesses, there's some people that want to spend their money other places. And if you work hard for your money,
do what you want to
do. Whatever you spend your money wherever you want to spend it to. But I'm saying that if you're putting it into a Black business, you can best believe that it's probably going to come back to your own community.
Yes.
And that's why I do it, because I want to see it reflected in my own community.
Our money circulates.
Yeah,
for sure.
I want it to circulate, and we're again. I'm paraphrasing. I think it's a $1.3 trillion.
Let me see. I'm gonna look it up right now while we're talking about it.
It's like a 1.3 or something trillion
talk about
dollar.
Something else. While I look it up.
Talk about but yeah.
Day?
So literally, if you're putting money out, it'll come back into our schools and just neighborhoods and everything like that. So yeah,
1.2 trillion.
1.2. I was one off. I'm good.
High five. Good job.
I know my info a little bit.
1.2 trillion.
But yeah, so I mean that's big.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, they released this on my birthday. That's funny.
Yeah. Own your thing, own your stuff, own your shit.
Mm-hmm.
Own your masters, start an independent record label.
Get your LLC.
Get your LLC. Open up whatever you want. It doesn't hurt but to try. You know, if you're gonna do it, you know, somebody else is doing it.
Right. Ask for help. Let's help each other.
Exactly.
But we're done. Okay. Thank you guys for listening to another episode.
Thank you. That was a great episode.
Yeah, I like talking about like uplifting the Black community in any way that we can, regardless to if it's sexuality, business, relationships, housing, all that shit. I just like uplifting the Black community. So
absolutely,
that's super dope.
Good. And then I want people to really listen to this and tell people to listen to this as well.
Yeah, and
not just for streams, but for the information.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Look out for those Black businesses. Body Ambiance, The Brown Estate, Ray Bay Draws.
Yeah, and I'll put more. Welcome to the table.
Welcome to the table.
It's another platform
there.
And then also we had previously we had Dex.
Yes, we had Dexter on the last episode. So you know, listen to the last episode to get the information. That's y'all homework.
Exactly. And I'll put a little bit more. I'll put more Black-owned businesses in our in the bio for this release on Instagram as well.
For sure. All right. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you.
See
this
you
was
next
a great episode.
week.
Take care.
We love y'all. This episode of Slick Talk was brought to you in part by Nexus Recording Studio, where the Bay records. Are you looking to do your own podcast, your own EP, your own mixtape? Check them out. It's in Oakland, California. That's where we record, and it's amazing.